So the Mohammeds say, the Mohammeds say they own the politicians. They lease the politicians. And the time is not up yet for that lease to be over. You know, when you lease something, you bought a car on lease, a 4 years lease or whatever, and then every 4 years you trade it in, or 2 years you trade it in, you take another one. You're constantly hooked on a contract. So the Mohammeds owns President Ali. The Mohammeds owns Vice President Jagdeo. The Mohammeds owns Attorney General Anil Nandalal. The Mohammeds, as in father and son, Nazar Shell Mohammed, Azruddin Mohammed, owns these three toppers of the PPP and others. As in, they are the owners, they are the puppet masters for these three individuals, amongst others. Allegedly. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. Don't forget, a matter of fact, remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, be a part of the people, the group of people who have subscribed to the channel. Just click subscribe. Just click the subscribe button. When I tell people to subscribe, they don't subscribe. When I don't mention it, then they subscribe. Typical human beings. It's like when I tell people, make a donation, they don't do it. And out of the blue, somebody says, Doc, I want to donate $1,000 to you, without me asking. So maybe I should stop asking. Because human beings are programmed to do the reverse. They do the opposite to what you tell them. Don't vote for the Mohammeds, they voted for the Mohammeds. Don't trust the politicians, they trust the politicians. So I would start to just tell people in the reverse. That shit works. Don't send me money. Welcome to the show. There's a lot on my mind. And it concerns me. It should concern you as well. I want it to concern you. I want to say this to the current government. I've said before, folks, listen, the PNC is not in power. They will never be in power again. So let's forget about the PNC, at least for the coming future. They are irrelevant. If needs be, I'll talk about them to strengthen my point, but they are irrelevant. What we should be talking about is the current government under President Irfan Ali. What's with all the distractions? What's with all the distractions? Practically every outlet is busy with the sanctioned man. Every outlet. We are pouring water on the back of the duck, knowing that it would not penetrate the feathers. It's useless. It's a useless venture. Using energy and resources, dealing with the Mohammeds. Because at the end of the day, they are not going anywhere. President Ali knows that. Vice President Jagdeo knows that. Anil Nandalal knows that. The Mohammeds know for 100% that they are not going anywhere. This thing has to play out. It has to play out because they built up this momentum, hyped the people up, caused the people to become so excited and in this tension mode, waiting for the breaking news that the Mohammeds are on a plane bound for the United States federal system. That is one orgasm you wouldn't reach. All this fucking political foreplay, you would never reach that orgasm. You might as well take your mind off of it and find some other means to stimulate yourself. Because if you're waiting, you built up. Oh, they built you up. They built you up. They built you up. They built you up. And you're there. You're just there. You're like, okay, any moment now, any moment now, any moment now. But they're not hitting the spot. It's not hard enough or deep enough. You're still there, lingering. Listen, you ain't gonna get to that point. It ain't gonna happen. So forget about it. Bring yourself down, back down. Take it off your mind. And then focus on something that you know can get you to that orgasm. But these politicians are performing useless foreplay and they don't have the dick to get you to the orgasm. They don't have the dick. They ain't got a dick and their tongue is weak. Either way, they can't get you to the orgasm. Pussyfooting around, talking up, politicking, distracting the folks from what? Let me see if I can think of a few things. Government of Guyana, whether you borrow money from the lenders or you earned money by way of the taxes or the resources of the country, every cent belongs to the Guyanese people. And you are just there to manage that money, as any company would hire a financial manager or an accountant, whatever. You are hired to manage the money, not to embezzle it, not to launder it. It ain't your money. The land doesn't belong to you. The money doesn't belong to you. You may be a politician, but you are a citizen just like every other citizen of Guyana. You have privileges, but your rights are no different than the average person in Guyana. Your privileges are better because you're a politician, you're a president, you're a minister, you're this. Your privileges as granted by the Constitution, but your rights are the same like every Guyanese who is law-abiding. Privileges don't make you supreme or superior to the average Guyanese. I want to repeat and I want to stress this emphatically over and over. President Ali, you became, I don't care who appointed you. I don't care if Jagdeo or whoever selected you from within the PPP to be the candidate. I don't care. That's besides the point. You were made president because of the mass amount of votes you secured from the Guyanese people. From the Guyanese people. The Guyanese people, while we are concerned about whatever issues you have within the party, Every house has its problem. Every house has its problem. There is jealousy everywhere. That should not affect your ability to govern the country. You signed up for whatever issues you have in the party. You signed up for that. It comes with compromise. It comes with compromise. See it through. But while you see it through, enough with the mixed signals. Every cent that is allocated to contractors for contracts, regardless of the nature of the contract, regardless of the nature of the fucking contract, every cent that is allocated to contracts, that is budgeted in the budget for contracts, every cent belongs to the Guyanese people, not President Ali, not Vice President Jagdeo, not Ashley Singh, the Guyanese people. So if people owes the country money, let them pay. They should pay it back. Because when you issue a traffic ticket, government, when you issue a traffic ticket for a road user, and that person may have secured 5 or 6 traffic tickets, but they haven't paid it, and you scan their vehicle, and you realize that the traffic is unpaid, is outstanding. It could be just 200,000 Guyana dollars. It could be 50,000 Guyana dollars. It could be less than that. What the fuck you do? What is it that your police does? You arrest that road user, confiscate their vehicle, and you throw them in jail for unpaid traffic tickets. You didn't lend them the money. They didn't borrow the money from you. You issued a piece of paper for a violation that under the law, the traffic laws, you claim this violation is worth so much. You give that violation by ticket to the road user. If the person doesn't pay out of their pocket, after a time you catch them, you jail them. And if they can't accumulate the money, they remain in jail until they can. Then you take them before the courts, and there's a heavier fine. That's what the fuck you do, right? Isn't it? That's what you do. Now answer me this. When you take the country's money and you give it to contractors, your friends, and they fuck up the contracts, they don't deliver on the contract, they embezzle the money, they use the money, and they take advantage of their connection to you, Ali and Jagdeo, both of you, and they don't deliver on the contract. Whose money is that? You can jail a traffic violator for not paying their speeding ticket or parking ticket, whatever. You throw them in jail for that little insignificant amount of money. You throw them in jail for that. But you're going in circles when a judgment is delivered on people who have to pay millions back because they have messed up a contract. They've breached the agreements. They've committed worse violations than traffic violations. And they're free to roam. They're free to live their lives without paying back the government the millions that they have already received in fucking cash, just because they know the president or the vice president? What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of a nonsense is that? This is why people don't trust you people, man. This is why the Guyanese are tired. They're fucking tired. They're fed up. They're fed up. You're jailing people for less. For less. Look, the other day, that GCOM person who embezzled or stole or whatever, just a few million, instead of giving the person the opportunity to pay the money back, you jail them. But you have contractors, your friends, incompetent, unqualified, undeserving, so-called contractors that you're giving hundreds of millions involved, billions in contract that they can't fucking deliver. Then you have to take the contracts back. And what, you forgot about the first cut? You forgot about the money they got for doing nothing? It's not your fucking money, man. You people believe as though that's your money. It's not your money. When the country takes a loan, the loan is being issued based on the country, not the president. On the country's ability to repay this loan, not the president's ability to repay the loan. Because when the president goes, the loan is still there. All the loans that the PNC secured, the PNC is out since 2020, right? The loans still exist and must be repaid. And you have people in Guyana, in the system, who continues to fleece the people of the country by getting contracts under false pretense, not delivering on contracts. Cuts gotta go here and cuts gotta go there. And they do some shabby work, some sham underground shabby work. And they get millions, hundreds of fucking millions. They don't pay it back. What is it, a gift? That's how you compensate people for propagandizing for you? Hundreds of millions? That's how you compensate people? You give them contract they can't do. They get money they don't deserve. And when they're caught, they don't pay it back. Because they're friends with the vice president or who the fuck else they're friends with. You tell me if that's fair, man. All of you. All of you. Whether you're PPP or whatever the fuck you are, forget about labels. You're a Guyanese citizen. You are a Guyanese citizen. Tell me if that is fair. You're the one paying it back. You have to pay it back. Not a contractor who take the loan, who got the contract. He's not paying that loan back that the government took. You, the citizen, has to pay it back. So you tell me if it's fair. All these money that has to be reimbursed by failing contractors, all the monies that has to be reimbursed. So long, months. You're telling me that somebody has spent $200 million in 6 months? Spent it doing what? They don't have that money in their bank account to give it back to the government? In 6 months? In a year? What? All the contractors are junkies? They smoke cocaine? They gamble? They're casino junkies? So from the time they get a first cut from the government, they waste it on betting, so they don't have it in their hand to give it back. If they fail, where the fuck is the money? I'm not going to tolerate that shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not going to tolerate that. It's not your money. It's not your money, President Ali. It's not your money, Vice President Jagdeo. You people are wasting the country's resources on your fucking friends. You're wasting it. And when you're out of office, the other one comes and he does the same thing. Blames the one before. Blames the one before. You people keep doing this shit, man. You're keeping the people poor. because of your nasty, dirty habits. You're keeping the people poor. Because when you accumulate all these debts and you're out of office with your billions, who has to pay the debt back? Did Granger wrote a check to the IMF, to China, to the World Bank that he secured loans from these sources? Did he write a check in his name? Say, I, David Granger, I'm paying back $1 billion in the loans that I took. Did he? Does any one of them do that? No, they don't. They don't. It is your children who has to do that. Your grandchildren will have to do that. I am fucking tired of it. I'm exhausted by that. And every time it's a distraction, a distraction, a distraction. You keep us busy with the Mohammeds case when you very well know you can't do the man shit. You can't do the man shit. We're distracted with that. That's not important. Let me tell you this, folks. I'm tired of it too. That's not important. You know why it's not important anymore? Because the Mohammeds said they can't do him shit. He owns them. And I believe it. I believe what the sources told me. I believe it. From all the evidences, I believe what the man is saying. He owns them. From the president to whoever, the Mohammeds owns them. I believe it. Yes. They must know what they're saying. The man is alleging that they owe him money. The Mohammeds are alleging that the PPP toppers, namely president, vice president, and all these others, owes them hundreds of millions that they loan them cash, give to them. They have to pay it back. But as long as they turn, let's get down to some deeper shit, man. Let's get down to some deeper shit, man. Like I said before, no more Mr. Nice Guy. All that fucking money belongs to the Guyanese people. It belongs to the Guyanese people. Accountability is important. Accountability is important. The Americans must look out for the interest of America. But the Americans are not supposed to expose the crimes happening in Guyana. That's not their job. But when the crimes affect the runnings of the American system, then they have to hold whoever they need to hold responsible. But it's not the Americans' place to tell the Guyana government, hey, this is happening, that's happening. No. The embassy is there to look out for the interests of America, not Guyana. So rightly so, the PNC government and the PPP government are the ones who should have been sanctioned, not the Mohammeds. The PNC and the PPP are the ones who should have been sanctioned by the justice system of America. And I'll tell you why. If crime happens while the police is awake, who does the public point a finger to? The criminals or the police? The police, right? Because it's on their watch crime happened. Their watch. So naturally, you question the police that were in duty. You arrest the police that were in duty. You hold them responsible. And then they're going to confess. Then you go after the criminals. But in this case, you just go after the Mohammeds and you leave everybody else. The PNC government and the PPP government are the watchdogs, the overseer, the stewards for Guyana's resources, for keeping the system smoothly running. The indictment did say that the Mohammeds corrupted government officials. But I don't agree with the terms that was used. You cannot corrupt something that was not already corrupted. The Mohammeds took advantage of a corrupt system. Therefore, you hold the system responsible for the citizens being corrupt. If the PNC government and the PPP government were not corrupt, there is no way the Mohammeds could have gotten away with all the things they are accused of doing. No way. From the gold smuggling to all the stuff that's happening. It is because of two corrupt systems that has allowed all the corruption to happen. Now they're suddenly saints. Now we have to protect these politicians because they're good. No, the Mohammeds just exploited a weak system. They knew that, hey, we can buy these people. They're corrupt. So they just corrupted them more. The sanctions should have been on the people that were corrupted by the Mohammeds. They should have been sanctioned. They should be held responsible. Like the woman, the police woman who murdered that child, that 15-year-old child on the road. The policewoman. A lot of you idiots would want to blame the car and the alcohol. Oh, the car should be sanctioned. Oh, you should put a ban on the alcohol. Oh, she's innocent. It's like that. The Mohammeds are the car. The system is the alcohol. The culprit is the government. You can't blame the Mohammeds, blame the government. All the agencies have overseer. They have to do an audit, they have to respond, they have higher bosses. Even this JK Lal guy, this jackass Lal guy, even him, he has bosses. And no decision he could have made without consulting with his bosses. Who would have consulted with another boss, then another boss, and then back to the president? Why are we distracted from the people who really should be held responsible? This is why the Mohammeds are saying if they're going down, they're taking the whole system with them. So the system don't want to go down. So they're just playing. Distracting. Because they know that they are responsible. PNC and the PPP. Government officials are responsible. And the Mohammeds are just one. There are many others that the system is milking money from, so as to turn their backs and allow these people to do what they want. From drugs to guns to gold to wood to concessions to all these things. The system is responsible. All the lands that are giving out, the massive lands, the concessions, the license, all of these things that are being given out is fucking corrupt ministers and corrupt officials that are allowing these things to happen. And then you're blaming some contractor, you're blaming some developer who got the land. He is not responsible. He just exploits the whole system because the system is messed up. That's what he's doing. If all of them follow the book, if all of them follow the law, if all of them act in fairness, we will not have a corrupt government. We will not have corrupt politicians. If all of them work according to their mandate, we won't have people like that. But you're blaming a developer. You're blaming an investor. The investor went around the system because he paid. The people that needs to be sanctioned are the people who has the last say. You're telling me before the Americans brought this to the fore, before the Americans made this a breaking news, Reuters, before they bring this out, you're telling me nobody from the PPP or the PNC knew what these men were doing? Nobody? They knew. They benefited. They allowed it. They were a part of it. And now to save face, all this gallivanting and politicking and pussyfooting around to seem like you're innocent. No politician is innocent. No politician is innocent. You are demons. All of your demons. And the average people, the 95% of Guyanese continue to face hardship because of fucking corrupt politicians. And we're supposed to have sympathy when all of you benefited. Look at the houses you live in. Look at the houses you politicians and you ministers live in. Justify that. Explain to the Guyanese people why you earn that much to build such a house. What's the source of your income? What is the source of your income? Because your government salary can definitely not provide that. And if the government has to build a house for a minister, it will be one of those professional homes that they build for the average citizen. So justify why you live like a king on your salary. You can't. Because it's people like the Mohammeds who've been leaking money under the table to ministers of government, politicians, directors, all these people, and they're earning hundreds of millions of dollars. It is a corrupt system and it's wrong. I'm saying to Guyanese, it is fucking wrong, because at the end of the day, these monies that they're turning their backs on doesn't belong to them. All of these low-life contractors that are taking contracts, they can't do it, but they're taking it on a cutback. When the government gives them a first cut of 300 million, from that first cut, the minister or whoever made that deal possible has to get his 50 million. So the contractor has 250 million to make do in whatever he has to do. If he doesn't succeed, what becomes of that 300 million first cut? He has to repay it. But he can't repay it because 50 million already went to the minister or whoever was responsible. He can't call the minister and say, hey, this thing went through, so you got to give me that 50. No. That is 300 million from the taxpayers. From the taxpayers that they will never see again. The contractor pockets that, and the minister, whoever, pockets that. 300 million. Tell me, how is that different than the Mohammeds or a businessman producing fraudulent papers to declare whatever goods and services he's doing to run away from paying the taxes? Tell me, how is that different? This is how it is different. The Mohammeds did not go with a gun and a whole army into the treasury of Guyana and rob the government 40 million. I mean, they robbed them for, no, they didn't do that. As per law, tax law, you need to pay taxes on certain goods and services. But for the Mohammeds or any business person, to pay taxes, they first has to produce products. Be it wood, gold, whatever, they have to produce. The government didn't help them to produce that. They have to produce it as business people. Now, to export, they have to pay the government or the state a percentage. That is not money that the state would have earned. That is money that the business people would have earned, and they have to give the state a part of that because it's a tax law. So technically speaking, all those people who are evading taxes, they didn't rob the system. They used the system. Robbing the system is going with a gun, like them niggas, into a store or a bank, and you're physically removing items from the bank or the place and taking it out. That's different. That's robbery. But if you lie on your tax forms, if you lie on whatever it is, it's white collar crimes. All the gimmick is not necessary. They were allowed to do what they do because of bad politicians. Their crimes, alleged crimes, lead up to 2024. Up to 2024, when the Americans seized 3 point something million in gold. The gold that was seized from the Mohammeds by the Americans, where did the gold came from? The Central Bank of Guyana? The Guyana Gold Board? No. Those Mohammeds would have to go and work the bush, work the ground, invest their money to secure that gold, take it out, pay their staff, do all of that. They have to do that with their money. Now, the fact that they want a larger profit margin, so they paid people in the government who were aware, fully aware of what the Mohammeds were doing, but accepted the bribe, changed documentation, and made it possible that the Mohammeds could have shipped stuff to Dubai and shipped stuff to America over the years. Then why are you holding the Mohammeds responsible for that? Who is responsible? The government. The officers of the government, as the Americans rightly say, corrupt government officials. And nothing of that magnitude would never go unnoticed by the president or the vice president. Nothing of that magnitude. They must be aware of such a transaction, because no ordinary director can give permission for those quantity and those amount of smuggling. He has to get orders from his bosses. Don't distract us with this bullshit. These people are criminals because you allow them to be. So you're all criminals. And they're correct. If they go down, they're taking the rest with them. Good so. We're tired of that. You keep fooling the Guyanese people. Every time is a fucking distraction. Now we're talking about cash grants. It's November, and we're talking about cash grants. And a lot of you are in this hypnosis. You're satisfied with little handouts. You get some handouts and you forget all the crimes of the government. What's wrong with you, Guyanese? What is the matter with you? You are getting that small amount of money, but you and your children will have to spend the rest of your lives paying it back. Because all those investments that you're getting is from loans. And the government will not take $1 billion and give it on the cash grants. The government will have to borrow 100 billion. 100 billion they will have to borrow. And they'll take $1 billion and give it on the cash grants. But there's 99 billion there that you will never touch or see. But you have to pay back. So you're happy with the cash grant. Oh, you're happy with, yeah, good, good. You're happy for 1 week. Stop with that mentality. That's not important. You don't want any free stuff. You need accountability. You want all the contractors who should pay the government. I'm saying the government. Folks, it's not the government's money. You want your money back. You need a transparent process where you can see and know that the money has been repaid. When they're bringing all of these things, these financial statements to the parliament, you can't trust the parliamentarians. You can't trust them. They will not discuss things that will expose them. The Speaker of the House will not pass certain arguments through that will expose him or his bosses. He wouldn't. So you will never know until another government comes and exposes it. In the meantime, these people are earning hundreds of billions, and it is unfair for the Guyanese people. It is unfair for the Guyanese people. They can't touch the Mohammeds. All they have been doing is just showing face. They want to deceive the Americans. They want to deceive all these people, thinking that things are being done. Nothing is being done. Look at GRA. GRA, the Guyana Revenue Authority. You know, this is why I'm fucking pissed. This is why I am pissed. I use my platform. I use my voice. I use my emotions, my breath to talk about the Mohammeds ripping off GRA, ripping off this. You would think I own GRA. You would think I'm directly benefiting from GRA. So I had to now take a stand as if this is personal. And look what GRA did. Look what GRA did. Out of the blue. Out of the blue. They dismissed the charges against the Mohammed for over 30 billion Guyana dollars. They say bye-bye to that. Forget about it. Without explanation. It is above our pay grade. Who the fuck? When the GRA says, when the prosecutors say, the prosecutors for the government who brought the case against the Mohammeds for GRA. Who do they work for? The government. Under who? Anil Nandalal. So when they say that this is above our pay grade, who are they referring to? Who is above their pay grade? Anil Nandalal. Who is above him? Jagdeo and Ali. Who is above them? No one. So the GRA, out of the blue, say we dismiss, we don't want to pursue this, it's over. 30 billion Guyana dollars. Forget it. Case dismissed. It is like this. The woman go make a report to the police. Her husband beats her. He stabbed her, beat up her mother, her kids, threatened her, all of that. The police went and got the husband. She says she wants to press charges. Now she's before the judge. The husband is there. And the judge says, Madam, this is your chance to send this man away for the rest of his life. You'll be free, happy, you can move on with your life. You don't have to worry anymore. All the people who supported her against this, friends, family, police, everybody, they're confident that she will never change her mind. But there in the court, when the judge is waiting to bring the hammer down, she says, Your Honor, I've been thinking about it, and I don't think I want to pursue this because I love my husband. So I want to drop the charges. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, case dismissed. Then she go back with the husband. And a week after, he puts a bullet in her head. The only reason the police would arrest him because it's murder. But nobody will go to her funeral. Nobody. Why? So we have that case where they made a big scene. They created a big scene. The Mohammeds this, the Mohammeds that, the Mohammeds this, the Mohammeds that. And then without notice, without even giving you a warm-up, like a press release, like a press conference, without any of it, not from the government side, not from nobody. All you hear is that they show up in court and case dismissed. 30 billion, you can pocket it and keep paying them niggas with that. That's all you hear. A slap in the face of the Guyanese people. And now they come with their fucking hypocritical self trying to explain why it happened. Oh, well, because of the sanction. Oh, well, because of this. Oh, well. Yeah. So can we now say, like what I said yesterday, can we actually conclude that the Mohammeds indeed are in control? Because all of this is happening after the man is sworn in. I said before, when he becomes a member of parliament, all his troubles will disappear. But they're telling you, oh, he's not immune because of being a parliamentarian. Oh, he's not immune because he's being opposition leader. We'll see. We shall see. We have already seen the blessings. The cases dismissed by the GRA. All the other so-called cases are not as huge as that. So if this big deal, if this big of a deal with 30 billion is dismissed, come on, them other cases, really? 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 So we shall see who is in charge. But if the president and the vice president and the attorney general is indebted, financially indebted to the Mohammeds, you should recuse yourself. You're compromised. Well, the president can't recuse himself because he's president. At least the attorney general can. He can quit. Now, Azruddin didn't call me and tell me that. I'm getting information from confidential sources. And I believe it. Because of the way things are happening from the beginning, I believe it. You know the other thing that I've learned? That none of these people really care about what happens. They're set for life. From the president to whoever, they're set for life. They have no worries. They don't care about what happens. They're not interested in extraditing the Mohammeds. For what? It doesn't bother them. They're rich. They're millionaires. They're billionaires. They're rich. They don't. It doesn't bother them. After all, the money, the alleged money, is not theirs. It's for the country, taxpayers. So, oh, forget about the 30 billion. Forget about that, man. It's not their money. Their pockets would not be affected because they don't pay taxes. So they don't mind. It's you, the Guyanese people, that will suffer, and that is suffering. Those rice farmers in Essequibo. I talked about the issue with Bobis in Essequibo. Rice built Guyana. Rice and sugar. The people who are in the rice industry are the Indo-Guyanese. You would think that the PPP would be a little more supportive to the Indo-Guyanese rice farmers, a little more supportive. They're giving hundreds of billions to contractors who don't perform. Then they have to take the contract back and give it to another contractor, but they can't allocate, they can't subsidize the rice industry. They can't help these rice farmers with their produce. What's $1 billion? That's a joke. Your own people you're treating like this. Your own people you're treating like this. When I say that, I mean PPP. It's not your money. The money should be invested in Guyanese industries. Help the Guyanese industries. All the money you're going to budget for cash grants. You have a lot of industries that are failing, including the rice industry. Put some there. Boost the local sector, boost the local economy. Enough with the grants, man. You're giving grants twice a year? It's almost the end of the year. You give them grants, what do you think will happen? They will spend it on junk they don't need, and then come January, they're cussing you again. If you invest the money in the industry like rice and this agriculture sector, they will hire people, they will employ people. And if people are employed, then they can earn money themselves. You're giving cash grants that are impoverishing the people more. It's not helping the people, it's keeping them poor. That's not relieving poverty. You want to relieve poverty? Lock up the men who are beating on their women. That woman who stabbed her husband, that black woman in Sophia, well, you know Sophia is a ghetto, who stabbed her husband, she lived a life, 23-year-old. These young black women are murdering people, 23-year-old. But lived a life of abuse by the husband. Abuse. It was too much. Enough was enough. She just had to defend herself. Now she's on the run. She will face jail time for self-defense. For self-defense, she'll face jail time. If the system is harsher on men who beat up their women, women don't have to kill men because they're tired of it. They're tired of the abuse. But if you deal with the men the first time the women complain and say, hey man, you go home, don't come and beg for this guy after that, we're going to send him in jail. Men will not be beating on women. And women will not have to take matters into their own hands because the law is slow to act. You're going to put ankle bracelet on men who beat women? Well, look what's happening to them. You think an ankle bracelet can save him from being murdered? The only way you can protect an abusive man is by locking him up in the prison. Then you protect him. But women are important and necessary for the continuation of Guyanese society. We need to protect our women from these abusive men. And at the end of the day, the time will come when we will understand if all these claims by the Mohammeds are true and sound. But I believe that yes, government officials are indebted to the Mohammeds. They have always said that they are paying politicians. They have always said that. So whether they say it in private or in public, they have always said that. This mysterious dismissal of the charges by the GRA had to have come from the top. The orders had to have come from the top, from the president. That is no ordinary order there to dismiss the case of 30 billion. It had to have come from the top. And why? Why would you want to get rid of a case like that? that could very well see the country earning a substantial amount of money. Why would you own the courts? You can always pass, even if it's appeal, you can always come down to an agreement where you can have a portion of that money. You cancel everything. It's not your money to dismiss. Why are you compromising? Were you pressured to cancel the case? What's this deal? People have lost their trust in the system. Guyanese don't trust their governments anymore. And this is not party politics. This is not race politics. Every Guyanese citizen is feeling the heat, is feeling the effect of bad governance. Indo, Afro, Chino, Europeano, everybody is feeling the effect. The only ones who are not feeling the effect are those who are getting away with owing the country millions, hundreds of millions and billions. They're not feeling the effect because they get away with it. Nobody is holding them accountable. The money is not Jack Deo's money, is not Ali's money, is not these other people's money. It's Guyanese citizens' money. And you should understand that you have to stop dealing with these politicians and take matters into your own hands. If you need to protest, these are times when you should. These are the things you should protest for. Let the contractors pay the government, pay the country back their money. Let these people pay the country back their money. No politician has the right to cancel any order or cancel anything. He is answerable to the Guyanese people. Let them answer as to why these contractors do not repay the government and why these contractors continue to get more contracts that they can't deliver on. Why? Because they know some government officials? A fucking corrupt system. You better don't make the Americans turn their backs. Trump is not a bullshit man. You see what's happening. He is not a bullshit man. If the Americans turn their backs on Guyana because of a shitty government, the people, the citizens who themselves are turning a blind eye because the people in government look like you, you're going to suffer. We have to stop identifying with politicians. We have to stop doing that. Let them be held accountable. The money doesn't belong to them. It seems like everybody gets in politics for the money. Everything has to be a loan. Every project has to be a loan. Don't show us the projects. We want to know how much it's secured, when it has to be repaid, how much has been repaid, how long does it take. We want to know that because the ministers of the government are not paying these loans back. The president is not paying these loans back. It's the taxpayers has to pay these loans back. Inflation will continue to go sky high. Prices will never drop because taxes is what pays the loans. Always taxes, always taxes, always taxes. And what happens there? You get some cash to distract you, some cash grants to distract you. All this politicking. Put all the infrastructures on a hold for now. It's too much at one time. It takes too much of money to be put here, put here, put here, put here. Raise the lives of the Guyanese people. And how you do that? By cash grants? You put money in the system by raising their salary. All right, raise their salary. So in 1 year, you give the Guyanese 200,000 cash grants. Yeah, you divide that by 12. How much is that? About 18,000. About 18,000. Let's say 18,000 Guyana dollars. Put the 18,000 Guyana, put 20,000 Guyana dollars additional on people's monthly salary. Give them 20,000 increase on their salary. Then you don't need cash grants. Every month they get a 20,000 extra. Then you don't need cash grants. But you pay them shitty salaries and you bribe them with cash grants once or twice a year. What's the point? Increase their salary across the board. Invest the money in the private sector. Help the rice farmers. All the stress people go through for lands, all the stress, that the headache to secure lands. And people are boycotting and getting land that they can't do anything with. And what's even worse, what's even fucking worse, is that a lot of the land projects, a lot of the development that's coming, the government is investing a substantial amount of money in these projects with the private businesses. You call it what? Private PPP what? Private public partnership. So the government and some private agency are conducting this partnership. But what the thing is, with a question mark, is that the government, which is the people, is putting a large sum of money into a private project that is owned by government officials. Either way, man, these people make fucking money. No matter how you twist it, it comes back to them. All of these firms and consultant this and this project and this are connected to government officials, from the president to ministers to directors. They all have connection to all of these private enterprises. So when you're talking about public-private partnership, it's one partnership. Because the companies are shell companies for government officials. They're just paying themselves in a sophisticated way. You think it's some firm from Canada or some firm from India. No, the firm is from Guyana. Politicians have it. And we are distracted by stupid things about Mohammeds. That we're distracted with. Yes, I want to thank the Americans for doing Guyana's job in exposing the shitty politicians we have. I want to thank the Americans for that. They're always looking out for the best interest of Guyanese. But you know, sometimes America, you just need to back off and let Guyana solve their problems. All right? You know what's happening. You already sanctioned everybody. They can't come to your country. They can't do business in your country. That's as far as it goes. But don't do Guyana's job for them. You're making the politicians in Guyana more lazy. You're corrupting them more because they're turning their eyes on all the wrongs and bad things in Guyana because they're a part of it. And they're saying, oh, well, the Americans will find out. We don't have to worry about that. The Americans are going to fix it. Oh, the Americans are going to this. No, America, please. You see how they throw it in your face, America? They dismiss the case against the Mohammeds. You told them that the Mohammeds are robbing the country of taxpayers. The Mohammeds have smuggled. You told them that, right, America? And look what they did to you. They've created this sham that they're going to take the man to court to get the money that you told them he stole in taxes. And now they throw it in your face. Oh, we're going to dismiss the case. They made a fool out of you, America. If I didn't love that country, I will tell you to invade Guyana, take it over. As a matter of fact, because I love the country, I might very well start doing that. Tell the Americans, you know what? Invade Guyana. Take it over. You know, the people need a break from all this corruption, all these lies and pretense and family and friends shit. They need a break from that. So just go take it over. Because if you open your borders, America, if you open your borders and invite Guyanese, the country will be empty. All Guyana will go to America. Say what? Fuck Guyana, we gone. Guyanese would rather live in America and risk whatever. So before that, just take the country. Go take it over. And that plane they're telling you about, the Mohammeds are not that special that America is going to send a government plane to take them to America. They're not that special. Okay? That plane you see on the tarmac there at the Chedijagan airport, that's an American official who came with that plane, a military official. That's why they travel. They don't take commercial flight. They take government planes. You think the Mohammeds are that special to go in one of those planes? Hell no. So don't worry about all this distraction that, oh, you see the plane is already here to take it. The fucking people ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Understand that. Get that in your thick skull. So, one of these days I'll be taking a trip to Israel. Yeah, I want to go visit the Holy Land. I'll go to Israel, then I'll go to India. I'll leave China for some other time, but Israel first, then I'll go to India. And I'm thinking I want to invite what's her name again? Candace Owens with me to Israel. Yeah, Candace Owens. I want to invite you. Come with me. Let's go to Israel. I mean, if you're a Christian, you'll be happy. Say, hey, he's visiting the Holy Land. I mean, I'm Hindu. I should be visiting India, but I'll go Israel first, then to India. The Americans block me, so I can't go to America. So I'm going to the Holy Land, then to India. A round trip. And Candace Owens, I want you with me. The American podcast star. Yeah. She's a hypocrite. She is. Typical black person. They're taking money from the white people, and they're cussing the white people. The white people are making them great, but they're cussing the white people to make the blacks think that they're done with the blacks. No, she's a hypocrite. Owens, this Owens woman. Married to a white guy. All her sponsors are white. She's on a white platform, but she's cussing the white people. Typical Negroes. I won't do that. The Indians made me, so I won't cuss them. The white people made me famous, so I wouldn't cuss them. The Jews pray for me, the Hindus pray for me, so I will not cuss them. I'm fair. You see who I'm cussing? Corrupt politicians. Lying, stealing, bastards, politicians. I cuss. Not people. I love people. Until next time. This is Dr. Prasad saying. It's Friday. Remember, don't send donations. That's when you send. Because when I tell you to send, you don't send. When I say don't send, that's when you send. So I'm saying don't send. Reverse psychology. I'm saying trust the politicians because I want you not to trust them. I'm saying don't believe the Mohammeds because I want you to believe them. Oh, and don't get it twisted. I'm not with the Win camp. Of course not. I'm PPP. But I want to clean the PPP from the corruption. I want to clean the PPP because if we can't remove the blockage we see, we will never see the good souls that are in the PPP. We are distracted by these people who are blocking us from seeing the good people in the PPP. We can't see them because we constantly bombarded with Ali and Jagdi and Anil and no. We need to see who else is there. So let's avoid these people for now and let us call forth the great souls that are in the People's Progressive Party, waiting for an opportunity to show the Guyanese people that it could be better and they can make that country great again. Oh yeah, thank you, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. This is Dr. Prasad saying, until next time, bye now.